Good morning, children. Today we'll start the second part of our chapter, landforms. In the previous video, we have discussed about different types of landforms, and in this part, we are going to study about how the landforms are formed. The landforms are mainly formed by two types of forces. The forces are, you can see it here, look here, endogenic force or internal forces. Second one is exogenic force or external forces. So these are the two forces which results in the formation of different types of landforms. Now the study of this formation of different types of landforms are called geomorphology. That means geo means earth, morph means form, and ology means study. So geomorphology means the study of formation of earth or the different forms of earth or different landforms like mountain, plain, plateaus, etc. Now we will study in detail about what is exogenic force and endogenic force. Exogenic force are the internal forces. What are these internal forces? Internal forces are the forces that happens in the interior portion of the earth. And the external forces are like we can call them as the agents of gradation or deposition and weathering all comes in that part. Now we'll see what are the things that happens in the interior portion of the earth that results in the formation of different types of landforms. The first one is endogenic. In endogenic, it is of two parts. Endogenic forces are of two parts, and these two parts are diastrophic forces and sudden forces. Diastrophic forces are of two types. Diastrophic forces are sometimes vertical movements, and the second type is called the horizontal movement. Sometimes the earth movement is of vertical type and the other one is horizontal one. So this two comes under this diastrophic forces. And the next one is sudden forces. Sudden forces means it is not happening by taking so many years. It is just happening by some internal movement or some disturbances happening inside the earth. For example, earthquake and volcanic eruption. This too comes under sudden forces. So endogenic forces are internal forces. Internal forces are of two parts, diastrophic forces and the sudden forces. Diastrophic forces are again of two types. They are horizontal movement and the vertical movement which happens inside the earth. Then the sudden forces are again it can be an earthquake or a volcanic eruption. The second one is external movement or exogenic forces. Exogenic forces are degradation and aggradation. These two are usually considered as the exogenic force. Degradation means which comes under weathering by rainwater or rain or running water and glacier, etc. The landforms degrade and erosion happens, and that results in the degradation of the land. And the second part which is coming is aggradation. Aggradation means accumulating all this. What is degraded is accumulated in a different place. For example, deltas are formed like that, or depositing mud, clay, etc. in another place, and the holes are filled. All these things comes under aggradation. So this is the main theme of our second part of our chapter. And explanation and point-wise explanation with the help of PowerPoint is given in the next part of our video. So we'll continue with the video.
Landforms are formed in two ways. We call it as an exogenic and endogenic force. This endogenic force is also called as an internal force, the force that works inside the earth, and the exogenic is a force that works outside or on the external side of the earth crust. So these two things are very important. Means that force which works inside the earth and the force which works outside the earth both results in the formation of different types of landforms, which we have already discussed in the first video. So the landforms are produced by the earth's natural sources of erosion, deposition and the tectonic process. So we can say that most of the landforms are either formed by the erosion activity, the deposition activity, or the tectonic process, or the process of tectonic movements. The two types of forces are called endogenic and exogenic. And the forces we can say that internal and external, and the geographical term it is used as endogenic force and the exogenic force. Now the scientific study of this process of formation of landform is called geomorphology. It is a 3-word term. We can say that it is derived from 3 words. Geo means earth, morph means form, and ology means study. So geomorphology means earth form study or the study of earth forms. So this is a scientific study, and the people who study about this geomorphology, their main aim is to understand about how the different landforms are made. Now in this class, just moving towards the second portion, before that we'll see a short video, very small one. In that you can see the different types of movements which happens on the earth crust and the interior side or the beneath the earth. So you can watch that, you can understand. And first when you watch, you will not understand what is the importance of all these things, volcanic eruption or erosion, etc. So after watching this video, when you watch it second time, you will understand it more. So let's watch the video.
The Earth experiences several processes that bring changes to it. It can either be an exogenic process or an endogenic process. Exo means outside or external. Exogenic processes are processes that take place on Earth's surface that make the surface wear away. Endo means inside or internal. Endogenic processes are processes which are caused by forces within the Earth. Exogenic processes include weathering, which is a process that breaks rocks down into smaller pieces, and erosion, which is a process of eroding the Earth's surface by moving agents such as water, wind, and waves. Transport and sedimentation is another exogenic process. Weathered and corroded materials are moved by agents such as running water. The materials will be deposited when the velocity of the agents decreases. Mass and land depletion is also an exogenic process, which involves soil movement downslope as a result of gravitational force. An example of endogenic processes is the mantle convection process. This process involves, firstly, the movement of hot molten magma in the form of convection currents in the asthenosphere. Secondly, magma activity, which occurs when hot and molten magma flows out to the Earth's surface through vents in the Earth's crust. And lastly, movement of the Earth's crust or plate tectonics, which is the slow movement of huge pieces of the Earth's crust.
So you have watched the video. In that you can see 2 types of internal movement, and you have seen the external movement. Now we'll go deep into what is this internal and what is this external movement. So it's a basic thing or an introduction to your landform study, so you can understand it, and I'll tell it in a very simple manner so that you can understand it better. The scientific study of this process forming of landforms is called geomorphology. And the landforms are formed in 2 ways. Endogenic, it is called internal forces which happens inside the earth. Exogenic is in the external forces. Endogenic means like volcanic eruption or what is happening beneath the earth. And exogenic is the external forces like sedimentation or erosion, etc. are called the exogenic force or the external forces. Now the external forces or exogenic forces, we'll study about what is this internal force or the endogenic force, but not external, it is internal force. The internal forces of the earth are responsible for the formation of various types of landforms, and they are also called as a constructive force because they make different types of landforms. The internal forces results in the formation of different types of landforms. For example, mountains are formed, means fold mountains, or for different types of mountains, volcanic mountains, etc., are formed because of the internal forces, and they are also called as constructive forces because they make something new. Folding and faulting on the earth's surface are done because of the internal force. Now we'll see a diagram. In that you can see the difference, two types of endogenic process. One is called the slow movement and the second one is called the sudden movement. It's a slow movement is called the diatropism, and the sudden movement, which is, we can call it in another name as a natural disaster, which happens very fast. The slow movement, either it is of two types, vertical and horizontal. Vertical means in a line from north south direction, we can say that, and the horizontal is a flat one. And these vertical movements are also called as a continental building, and they are having ups and downs. And horizontal movement is also called a mountain building, and forces of compression, forces of tension, these horizontal movements are formed. Now, when moving to the second side, it is sudden movement. Volcanic eruption, earthquakes, etc., are called the sudden movement. So, the vertical movements and the horizontal movements are slow movement, and the volcanic eruption and earthquake, which is happening very fast and which is usually considered as a destruction, is a sudden movement. So that is the two types of endogenic process which is happening inside the earth crust. Now external forces have the tendency to convert the surface of the earth into a plane surface. For example, small hills and mountains are converted to plateaus due to rainfall, glacier, or wind, etc., are called the external forces. It removes irregularities. It is called destructive or exogenic force because they cause widespread destruction through erosion and weathering. Erosion, I think you have heard about soil erosion, the same erosion only. So, and weathering means breaking down of rocks into smaller particles. And this external forces like wind, water, rain, glacier, they are called the agents of gradation or agents of weathering. They results in the removing the irregularities, and they destroy the landforms which is already made by the internal forces. There this wind, water, rainfall, etc., changes the outside cover or the outside portion or the exogenic portion of the landmass, or the outside crust of the earth, and that's why it is called a destructive force, and it is happening due to the agents of gradation or agents of weathering. Now you can see the exogenic process. There are four types of exogenic process are there. One is weathering, mass movement, erosion, and deposition. Thus weathering is of three types: physical weathering, chemical, biological weathering. And mass movement is of slow mass movement is there, and rapid mass movement is there. Erosion happens due to running water, groundwater, glacier, waves and current, and wind. Deposition means running water, groundwater, glacier, etc. results in deposition of sediments in one place. That means they destroy one area and they carry all those load and they will deposit in another place. So that is exogenic force. That means they make changes on the outer crust or outer portion of the earth. On the other hand, the endogenic makes new forms, and the exogenic, they destroys the already formed one. Now endogenic forces operating inside the earth, they are called endogenic force. They are also called as a tectonic movement. Two types are there. We have already seen in that diagram about the diatrophic and the sudden one. Diatrophic is a horizontal and vertical, and sudden forces is two earthquakes and the volcanic eruption. They are destructive. We cannot say that they are making some, but they are making something, but it's a disaster. So sudden forces are not good for the environment and not good for the earth, but it is also a constructive one because they make new things. Now, diatropic forces, horizontal movement, caused by the forces beneath the earth or inside the earth. They are also called as orogenic or the mountain building force. This movement occur horizontally, and this movement works in two ways. They work either from opposite sides, or they work towards, or they collide towards, or they work from the opposite sides. So this is diatropic force, which is functioning in a horizontal way. Now, horizontal, I think you know that it's in a flat, like a flat one, and from east to west direction we can see, and it's a form, it is caused beneath the earth, and it is also called a mountain building movement. Next one is a vertical movement, and it is also called as a continent building movement. Result in the internal movement. It's a result of internal movement. These movements are responsible for the formation of valleys, plateaus, etc. And the movements are powerful as they could cause rise of extensive areas such as continents. This movement, the vertical movements, are very strong, so that sometimes they even results in the formation of continents. That means they are uplifting up from the water body, or we can say that from the oceanic crust, this land is raised up. The raised portion are known as uplift, and downward portion are known as the subsidence. So this type of two movements are there of diatropic forces. One is horizontal and the other one is vertical movement, and both are very important for the construction of the new landforms. The vertical movement is called the continental building force, and it results in the formation of continent building, and the horizontal movement is also known as a mountain building movement. So these two are called diatropic force, which is coming under the endogenic force or the internal force. These two are formed due to internal force of the earth, and the one is so diatropic means it is a slow process. We cannot say that all of a sudden one day morning land came up or a continent raised. It is not like that. It is a very slow process compared to the sudden force which is happening in the endogenic or the internal force. The sudden force, you can see the anticline, syncline, etc. The land is raised up, and it takes thousands of years for the formation of such type of things. Now, next one is called a sudden force. It is also an endogenic force, in that it comes from deep within the earth crust. It causes massive destruction at the below of the surface of the earth, and volcanic eruption, earthquakes, etc. are called the sudden forces, and it is extreme. Even it is a destructive one, and they are considered as a constructive, but they are destruction to the earth and environment. Geographically, sudden forces are called constructive forces because they create certain relief features on the earth crust. But these two are very destructive one, though they are called as a constructive. They are called as constructive because they are mountain building or they make new landforms. They are called destructive because they destroy land. Volcanic eruption, earthquakes are destruction, but they results in the construction of new things. Now, exogenic force. The exogenic force are the external process that occur on its surface, on the surface of the earth. They are caused due to agents like water, glacier, wind, etc. This process results in the disintegration and decomposition of rocks by chemical, physical and organic weathering. We call it as a physical weathering, chemical weathering or biological weathering. It includes degradation and aggradation. So this is also a process which helps in the loss of fertility of land. Along with that, in some other place they increase the fertility of the land. Sometimes we have heard that erosion process destroy the land surface, but in some cases the river carry all this such type of humus and topsoil, and they flows, and when they reach the down portion in the deltas they deposit the sediments, and that results or that makes the land fertile. So we cannot say that it is completely a destruction. In one way it is good, and in another it is a destruction. So we can say that it is degradation, along with that it is aggradation. So degradation, removing the topsoil, and here you can see the aggradation, they are accumulating all the silt and humus and making the land fertile. So this is the end of our second part of our chapter, and in the next part we'll study about types of landforms. In the types of landforms, we'll start from the mountains, different types of mountains, plain plateaus, etc. So I think you have enjoyed this, you have understood all this, and it's a little bit difficult topic. So two important things which you have to remember in this, or you have to understand it, is that is there are two types of landforms are there, and two types of forces are there that results in the formation of landform: endogenic or the internal force, and exogenic or the external force. Internal force results in the formation of new landforms, and exogenic force we usually call it as a destructive one, but it is not destructive, but it removes or it changes the actual shape and size or actual features of the earth, and how it is formed, or what are the different ways in which it is formed. In an endogenic force or an internal force, there is diatropic force or a sudden force, and the sudden force. In the diatropic, we have studied about horizontal movement and the vertical movement, and the other one, sudden force, it is like volcanic eruption, earthquake, etc. And in the exogenic force, it is just removing the topsoil, and making of it is done by the agents of gradation or agents of weathering called wind, wave, running water, glacier, etc. And we have studied about what is degradation, and degradation means it's a process which is responsible for decomposition of rocks, and aggradation means it is a process which is results in the leveling up of the land or depositing the sediments, and these are the main things which we learned in this portion. And you read the textbook well and understand it, and watch more than once this video so that you can understand it properly. If doubts are there, you can ask that in the comment box. I'll answer to it, and one test paper questions are uploaded today itself. You can see the question paper and you can write the test. Thank you.